fermement. Je passe en anglais. Thank you everyone for Thank you everyone for being here. Many people speak about security in terms of military power or economic terms, but we in the Green Party, we understand something essential, that the greatest threat to our sovereignty, our health right now is the climate emergency. And the threat is already here in Quebec and across the country. The climate crisis is not some distant possibility. It is here and it is real. It's something that's putting lives and people and jobs at risk, and something that we want to respond to. In 2023, it was over 45,000 Quebecers that were forced to flee their homes because of wildfires, the highest number ever recorded. Along the coastlines of Canada, the ocean is swallowing roads, it's affecting communities. We are seeing infrastructure affected by the rising level of the seas, by torrential rainfalls. We were also hit here in the Atlantic with the rare and devastating Hurricane Fiona that affected many people in Newfoundland and Labrador, as well as in Nova Scotia and New Brunswick, leaving thousands of people without power for days. What about tornadoes? Well, here in Quebec, 20 years ago, we didn't see that many of them. Now it's between 6 and 12 every year, tornadoes that are affecting infrastructure, houses, leaving people without a roof. This is the new normal, and it is not normal, and we will continue to fight to make sure that it doesn't affect more people than it currently does. Because across Canada in 2023 alone, we had more than 230,000 people that had to flee their homes and were evacuated because of climate emergencies, from floods to fires. An entire capital in the Northwest Territories that was evacuated because of the horrendous fires. So this is not just a humanitarian crisis, it's also becoming a public health emergency. Last year and the year before, we had the smoke from the wildfires affecting people here in Montreal, in Ottawa, and Toronto, with concrete impacts on the health of children, of elderly people, of people who have already cardiovascular diseases, and we haven't seen the end of it. We will see the long-term consequences of breathing that smoke in the years to come. When it comes to the economic toll of the climate emergency, we're talking about billions of dollars. In 2023, the insured losses were up to $3.1 billion, but that doesn't include uninsured property, infrastructure. We're talking about costs that average or that are close to $9 billion. But that's just for 1 year. And looking forward, the Canadian Climate Institute is warning us, all of us, that the cost of the climate emergency could go up to $100 billion, and that's by 2050. Now, when insurance companies are raising red flags, we need to listen. Some insurance companies are already not covering new homes or existing homes in high-risk areas, and that is creating a risk, of course, for lenders. There are people who are bracing for a housing crash because of the climate emergency, because many of our communities right now are in danger of seeing homes being swallowed by the sea or by wildfires. The burden of this is also transferred to the municipalities, and they don't have the cash necessary to adapt the infrastructure needed to face climate change. So Canada right now is not on track to meet its climate targets and its climate goals. In fact, we've missed every single target we have committed ourselves to since the Paris Agreement. Our emissions have actually risen, and we're the only G7 country where that's the case. This is not a great thing for Canada, for Canadians, nor is it for the rest of the world. Because while the rest of the world pledged to limit warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius, we know that we're going past that right now. And it is likely that in Canada, because of our northern geography, we reach levels of warming that could go up to 3 degrees with devastating consequences. If we stay on this path, we will face droughts in the prairies. We will face crop failure in Ontario. We will have more communities affected by floods, by wildfires. This has concrete, direct results and effects for communities across this land. It's not just a forecast, it is a timeline, and it is one that we need to pay attention to in this election. But there is another way. There's a just way, there's a green way, there's an ambitious way. Our party, the Green Party, will table a climate act that will mandate science-based targets. We want to reduce emissions by 60% by 2030. And when we talk about reaching zero emissions, we're talking about real zero, not net zero, and we want to reach that by 2050. How do we do that? We need every economic sector to have its own carbon budget, and polluters who go beyond that budget, they need to pay, not taxpayers, polluters. And we need to eliminate the fossil fuel subsidies. Canada continues to fund this devastating these devastating enterprises in this industry that is largely owned by foreign investors at the expense of Canadians, at the expense of our future, and this is simply not something that we can continue. We need instead to invest in renewables. We have solar, we have wind, we have every possible renewable energy forms that could transform Canada into an energy superpower fit for the 21st century. That is not what we're hearing right now from the Conservatives or the Liberals, who want to take us back to the age and the days of fossil fuel exploitation. Under a green government, there will be no further exploitation and exploration project in this country. We want to make sure that this industry stops by 2045. Now, of course, that requires government to take care of the workers of that industry. There are tens of thousands of Canadians that work in the oil and gas sector, and we want to take care of them through a Just Transition Act to guarantee income support, retraining, dignified retirement possibilities for oil and gas workers throughout the country. But that's also why we've announced a few days ago that we would be launching a National Civil Defense Corps to create thousands of jobs for people who want to help Canada rise to the challenge, defend our communities, and increase resilience in the face of climate change and the emergencies that we see all around us. Rebuilding this country is about making sure that every single Canadian is safe in the face of climate change. So climate change is a threat, and it is one that we all need collectively to address right now. But we also need to talk about environmental justice. Elizabeth May, in this last parliament, was able to pass Bill C-226 about environmental justice, and we want to ensure that we create the National Office for Environmental Justice to make sure that there is no more poisoned water in so many Indigenous communities, that we protect vulnerable people from the effects of pollution throughout this country. Climate justice is also about reconciliation throughout Canada. Let's be clear, we are out of time now. We have 5 years to truly transform our economic systems to free ourselves from our dependency on climate affecting fossil fuels. And that will determine whether Canada can actually lead in the 21st century's economy or become a cautionary tale. On our end, we are choosing action. It's unfortunate to see the Liberals cut the budget for IPCC scientists right now at a time when we need more Canadian science and participation in international discussions around climate. We see right now that the Liberals are abandoning more and more the climate agenda. Nothing quite so surprising after seeing this government fund a pipeline over the past few years with our tax money. But this is something that we pledge to address in this coming parliament. We need more green voices in Ottawa to make sure that we have real climate action now. Thank you. Merci. Any questions?